Something Cheeky is my favorite novel that I've written yet, but Something Cheeky, Zoe is a plus size lingerie designer who had dreams of designing costumes for the theater, but left because of a bad experience in college. And her college best friend comes back into town. He's had this opportunity of a lifetime to put on a play, a musical that he's written. So it's a rock musical about the Vietnamese Cinderella fairy tale. And he finds her, they haven't spoken in years. He finds her and asks her to create the costumes for the show because this was a musical they dreamed together in college, dreamed up together. And there's various reasons why she's unsure if she really wants to go back into theater because she was asked to do Yellowface by Professor, who basically blacklisted her for saying no. And there are people in the story who are trying to keep them from writing their story their way. They want to make it more palatable for quote unquote palatable for white audiences. So that's one of the major obstacles in how the characters deal with that obstacle. They have very different opinions on how they should be dealt with. I'm writing the stories that feel real to me. And I think as an Asian woman who's married to a Black person with biracial kids, like just existing is controversial to some people, right? Like just us being here. So I can't tell a story about being Vietnamese American in DC without bringing these things up, without like in theater. So, like I worked in theater, my partner still works in theater, and those things come up. Like how many, like there's this joke among us. It's like Black actors have a really hard time finding a lot of work until February, which is Black History Month, because a lot of theaters will do Black shows during Black History Month, which is there's nothing wrong with that. It's really important. But when that is the main time of the year they can find work, then there's something wrong with the system, right? It's just the truth, right? If you're doing shows with majority Black casts the rest of the year, and then you do one for Black History Month, awesome. I think the same thing with any marginalized community. Um, so I think those are the things that I hope to bring up when I'm writing, especially in something cheeky. When I was writing this, things are coming up like the movie Turning Red had come out in the middle of me writing this. And I don't know if you remember, like there was that reviewer that said that this story was unrelatable because of its Chinese references, Chinese American references, which uh, obviously there was a big, I'm going to say hullabaloo, even though it's a really old people word about it, but people got upset because like, how can you can relate to, um, like mermaids and aliens and hobbits, but you can't relate to a little girl going through puberty and turning into a red panda. So things like that still exist, and I think like it's not like capital letters racism, right? It's just all those little things that keep adding up. And there was a musical that opened last year called K-pop, and basically it was about like like the K-pop industry, and a lot of the songs were in Korean, and the New York Times reviewer was like, I don't think this music was any good. I have no idea what they're saying because all the songs are in Korean. But like, how can you not be true to those people's stories if you don't sing the songs in Korean? Because how many fans do we have in the US who listen to K-pop and learn all the words, even though they might not know? I'm sure they look up what the meaning is, but that's not a barrier for them, right? So to have a big, well-known theater reviewer say those things in the New York Times, like that's basically like telling people like this is not American, this is not our story, and America is made up of so many different people and cultures.